It's Movie Time is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1515 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio. Further details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.com.
The award-winning It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Sommer Sterud.
And I am on with my co-host guest. It's movie time. All right, Summer. The film is The Gift.
Right.
It stars Jason Bateman, Rebecca Hall, and it stars also Joel Edgerton.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Summer, I'm a little bit confused. Help me.
Okay.
It's listed on IMDb as a mystery thriller.
Mm-hmm.
But weren't we expecting a bit of a horror film?
Yes.
And what happened?
I don't know. I was thinking of it more as just a psychological thriller.
Good.
Mystery thriller.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say mystery.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. The only mystery is who's doing what.
Who's the worst bad guy?
I know.
That was the one thing I loved about it, is I felt like I was keeping a scorecard of who was the worst bad guy. You know?
I know. So you essentially have a three-hander. You have a whole bunch of minor characters.
Yeah.
But you've got, let me see, you've got Simon,
Mm-hmm.
Robin,
right? Robin, his wife.
and then we
Gordo.
do have Weirdo Gordo.
Weirdo Gordo.
Played by the writer-director himself, Joel Edgerton.
Right.
And boy, I'm right with you on that one. My sympathies were switching
Yeah.
among the three.
Mm-hmm. I see. What I think is the mark of something really good in any piece of art is when you feel that conflicted. I mean, it's an obvious point. You feel that conflict. You feel like you are repulsed, but then you're sympathetic. And they did that. This movie did that for not just one, but two characters, Gordo and Simon. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Now they're old high school friends,
Right.
and Gordo comes into the life of this relatively young couple,
Right.
and he brings the past into the present,
Right.
and it's not always nice.
No, it's not.
In fact, underneath Bateman's character lies a whole bunch of possibilities for being the person he isn't.
Uh-huh.
And do you think that's also true of the other two?
Yes, because we get the hints. Well, okay, so Gordo comes and he obviously seems a little off, right?
He is, I know.
Which he's just socially awkward, and you can tell he wasn't the cool kid in high school, and Jason Bateman was.
Right,
you know?
right.
And so that dynamic is still going on, and Robin, Bateman's wife, she seems just very sweet and open, but they keep dropping these hints that she had some like addiction.
Yes.
Right. So, and by the way, I just felt like, was that distracting to you? Because I don't know if it was that necessary.
Well, here's what I thought about that, because I had the same problem. Unless they have her, what she does is steal some drugs from a neighbor.
Right.
And we begin to see that she's had a problem when he mentions that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we do, she's way too much, to me, neutral. And in fact, it lays it on just the two men, because then she's just in the middle of the two men.
Right.
But this way, she joins this kind of past, menacing past, the three of them. And it dovetails with what you said originally about how your sympathies roll among the three of them.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can have as much sympathy for her unless she's real rather than.
Right. So having a little unsavory bit of her past come out makes her a more, complicated character. And because if she was just this sweet, understanding wife.
Yeah,
who she had a miscarriage, I think. Right. So then we would just be like, oh.
Okay, here we go. Marginalizing women again.
Exactly. She's at home. Quit her job. No, she's working from home.
What do you think about the house?
The house, I was just like, okay, it's all glass. Here we go, But it was beautiful, but it was, you knew from the beginning you know, it's all glass. So this
Yes.
is going to be some voyeuristic or some sort of
Great,
yeah.
I think it looks over L.A. It is in L.A.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably some like Mulholland Drive place where you
Yeah.
can see the city. So it's quite impressive. Now I was trying to think, since we're both literary types,
Yes.
since you teach creative writing and I've taught English, I
Mhm.
was trying to think figuratively, how does that house work?
Huh.
And you alluded.
See, okay.
I mean, I know.
Darn it. Because I was thinking, when I was watching the film, I was thinking very literarily, you know, very like poetry, metaphor.
Oh,
I
I
was
want
like,
to, yeah.
way, but I wasn't thinking about the house. I noticed hallways.
Yes.
It began and ended with a hallway, right?
Exactly.
So,
And isn't that a part of the trope of the thriller?
yes.
You'll have hallways, and that means you can look around corners, and something might be
Right.
there and not be. So, right.
See, I was just like figuratively, like, what is that?
All right. Hey, here,
You
check
know?
this out.
Okay.
I'm thinking, and I realize this is the kind of thing you and I would do in class.
Yeah.
It's all transparent,
Mm-hmm.
which is, of course, ironic because nothing is
Oh.
transparent among these three.
No.
You can't figure them out.
No.
It also allows you. There are several shots I thought where the glass served as a shield,
Mm-hmm.
and particularly that one shot where he puts the heart,
Yeah.
he breathes on it, puts the heart with her,
Yeah.
and you could barely tell before that there was that glass in between them.
Yeah, and it scared her a little bit.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. And
Yeah.
so I thought, gosh,
You know.
it really works.
That is very true, especially between the husband and wife.
Exactly.
Between the two, because
Exactly.
it's almost as if they're just close enough, but he lies. He has opportunities not to lie to. And it's just that little lie he thinks he's saying to her to make her feel better.
Yes.
And it's creating this distance,
Yes.
obviously. Yeah. It becomes a mirror, too. Because we're thinking Gordo is clearly the monster in this horror film, right? And then we see it unfolds, that it's not just him.
I know.
And these two bad guys, I mean, the mirror can act as, or the glass. Yeah.
No, without revealing it, what did you think about the ending?
I thought it was kind of perfect, actually. I hate to be like, oh, yay, cheerleader, because I have criticisms of this film. But I thought it was perfect, because there were times I thought it was going to end, and I was like, oh, no, not yet. Her addiction to these pills or her, like, alcohol
Right.
problem, it got a little distracting,
Yeah.
but I can see it kind of painting a more well-rounded picture of her as a real human being.
Right.
I felt her urgency to have him apologize, her husband, to Gordo after they discover, he's lied about all these
Yes.
things.
Yes.
And like the whole dog thing. I mean, I don't
right.
want to ruin it.
Well,
but
typical
like,
horror film trope.
Yeah.
The dog is missing.
Yeah. And this, and so I thought this is like horrible. I mean, they think that he stole this dog and lied to them about inviting them over to whatever. But I couldn't understand a woman not just being like, okay, I'm done with this guy, and can we move? Can we please move? Because we keep getting these gifts,
Well, you helped me out on that one because I was perplexed as well.
Yeah.
And you're making me think that this, according to our discussion, adds again another turn of the screw to her personality. Because is there a point where I certainly did, thought she might have been attracted to Weirdo Gordo?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not wrong on that.
No.
And
I kind of loved that aspect.
I did, I know it.
Yeah, because that never happened. It forces us to think about, like, I started asking the question, would Gordo have been different if that thing didn't happen, you know?
And I loved, you're making me think, I loved the moment when the audience just laughs when she wants to invite him again to
Oh,
dinner.
everybody collectively
Wasn't
sighed,
that
like,
great?
oh, I loved it.
Yeah, I can hear the audience saying, no,
Yeah.
do not go there.
It was the modern day version or the contemporary version of like, don't go in the bathroom,
Yeah, exactly,
It was
yeah. So that's where those tropes come in and where Edgerton does a beautiful job of playing with them. He surely knows they're going to have that reaction. But it also brings me back to that question about her character and her motivations. And why would she want to, and I think you're so right, at some point, most of us would just say, okay, enough. I think this guy is really weird.
Yeah.
Let's not have any. She wants to continue to.
Movie. I can't get into the like fake, kind of
Yeah,
things
Friday
that
the
couldn't.
13th.
I'm a realist.
You're not a slasher.
Yeah.
horror.
Yeah, I want to feel like this could actually happen, which is terrifying. But I think if you get really scared, this is a thing that could potentially really happen.
Yes.
So that might not be.
Yeah.
It might not be up your alley.
I mean, it
Yeah.
is a home invasion of
Yeah.
almost of a different kind.
Yeah.
It's insidious. It kind of comes up on
Mhm.
you, and here I think it is you can't get rid of the past as much
Yeah.
as our protagonist would wish that to happen. It just can't be.
Mhm.
And Edgerton's character reminds him that you can't,
Right.
because Bateman's a supercharged salesman.
Mhm.
Future. It's everything's the
Yeah.
future.
I love how they are just graduated forms of who they were. It was clear in that moment in the parking lot. I mean, they were the same, and that moment where he's like, say pleasey wheezy, say please. They're just these grown children being the same, like this power struggle going on. And I thought the camera angles served well for that too. Like
Good.
him in the hospital looking, and you can see who's starting to win this.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's looking down on him, on Jason Bateman. So, yeah, I have a quick question.
Oh yeah.
The jump scares. I mean, they made us laugh, right?
Yes.
What did you think about? Because it was always pretty benign.
Yeah.
And then the real terror came later.
Yeah.
Much-
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that he did. I thought he did that. He did some of that anticipatory violence business that doesn't come about. I thought he did. I thought that Edgerton was playing with the formula, with a
Mhm.
thriller formula.
Mhm.
Would that fit with what you were thinking? What are you thinking about them?
Yeah, I think he was. It was like misdirection all over the place,
Yes.
which I really enjoyed. But
Yes.
I looked at the jump cut, or the scares,
Yes.
as very analogous to Gordo's character. Like lots of suspense. You're like, oh no, this is gonna be. He's creepy,
Right.
and then he would be benign with like a really sweet gift.
Yes.
And so then it wouldn't be anything. It would be a dog scaring us or a box opening.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which is interesting because he's directing the film.
Yes.
And that's his character. So
Yes.
I love that.
And that's what I felt too.
Yeah.
That some of that he was playing with conventions, and our audience responded immediately to all of those, just as
Yeah.
the way he wanted it to.
Yeah.
But he pulls back. Yes, he does pull back so that your expectations are fulfilled,
Mm-hmm.
and we move on to a story about a kind of domestic violence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, all right, Summer.
All right.
We are at that point
Fine.
where two educators here have to award a grade. And
Okay.
I'm going to ask you, as my guest, what grade would you give this film?
Okay. I think I will give it a B+. I would say that while I thought it was a little slow at first, honestly, the beginning
really
was
was.
very
Good
slow.
point.
I just loved the play of, keeping score of who's the worst bad guy and whose offenses are the most egregious. And
Yeah.
so I thought it did a really good job of playing on our sympathies.
And I'm right with you
Yeah.
at B+ as well. We're both
wow.
avoiding the A because of its imperfections.
Yeah.
But at a B+ and late in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
and you're looking for some thrills,
Yeah.
I think this is the one.
Yep. And this is his debut, right?
Yes.
Directing. So,
Yes.
yeah.